are not unfamiliar to law enforcement up and down the state of California. And so with that, I'll conclude and turn it back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Sheriff. Ms. Nobles, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Good morning to the members of the committee. Thank you for allowing me to speak. On July 27th, 2022, I received the worst news that a parent can ever get, that my newly 20-year-old daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was found deceased with injuries consistent with homicide. There are no words that describe the heart-wrenching, soul-crushing pain of losing your child so horrifically. Kayla was a happy and loving person. She loved life and God. She was extremely ambitious, and despite having autism, she was determined to make her way in this world. She loved animals, especially her cat Oreo, and cared about the homeless. At first, we knew very little details of the murder until an arrest. At the end of March of 2022, Walter Javier Martinez was apprehended by Border Patrol, crossing illegally into the U.S. Martinez stated that he was 16 years old and feared gang activity in his country in El Salvador. As an unoccupied alien child, Martinez was granted access into the United States with no background checks or vetting. Homeland Security did not verify the sponsor and allow Martinez to go live in Frederick, Maryland. There were behavioral issues with him living with the sponsor, and he ended up staying with his half-brother who lived in the same neighborhood, mobile park, as Kayla. There were behavioral issues with Walter, so the half-brother called the property manager, owners of the mobile home park, which I thought was a legit company. We learned that an illegal immigrant couple owned the mobile homes and took it upon themselves to allow this 16-year-old to rent a room in the same mobile home as Kayla. Martinez was living there less than 5 days before he violently and brutally murdered my daughter. Walter Javier Martinez broke into Kayla's room while she was sleeping that morning. Kayla left a voicemail on her boyfriend's phone. According to the voicemail, a struggle was going on, and Kayla can be heard crying, groaning, and struggling to breathe. Martinez can be heard on the voicemail hushing her, and near the end telling her, "I'm sorry," in Spanish, while strangling her with her phone charging cord. After she was deceased, Martinez tied her up and sexually assaulted her. This was confirmed by the annual swabs that matched Martinez's DNA. Kayla fought for her life that day. She had bruises up and down her arms, her fingers, the left side of her face, her back, and down her leg, and deep wounds to the neck from the charging cord. Local police knew right from the beginning he was the main suspect just by their initial investigation. It took the Aberdeen police to confirm that Martinez was a known gang member of MS-13 and that Martinez had a criminal record in El Salvador in 2020. If Homeland Security did a background check, then they would have known this, and Martinez wouldn't have been able to be on U.S. soil. With Martinez being 16 years old, Maryland Child Protective Services took custody of Martinez until the DNA results came back. The Aberdeen Police Department was very transparent to CPS. The Aberdeen Police Department demanded that Martinez be held in a secure location because he was a threat to society based on the murder and injuries of Kayla Hamilton. It was later learned that Child Protective Services placed Martinez in a group home with other children and then placed Martinez in a foster home, which allowed him to be enrolled in high school. This was also confirmed by an investigative reporter with Fox 45 Project Baltimore who got an actual confirmation from Edgewood High School. While in jail, a letter was intercepted that Martinez wrote, confessing to 4 murders and 2 rapes. Martinez ended up pleading guilty and taking the plea deal of 70 years. Since he was a juvenile at the time, even though he was tried as an adult, Martinez couldn't get life without the possibility of parole. This is not a political issue. This is a safety issue for everyone here living in the United States. Not only was Kayla's life put at risk and taken, so many other children and adults were at risk. The Biden-Harris administration is not putting the American citizens' safety first. The United States government must secure our border. We need to properly vet and background check all border crossers. This isn't about immigration. This is about protecting everyone here in the United States.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Knowles. Doctor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Jordan, Ranking Member Nadler, and members of the committee, thank you for conducting this hearing and the opportunity to explain why characterizing the U.S.-Mexico border as a region in crisis is an inadequate and unproductive way for addressing North America's cross-border challenges. I appreciate the invitation to participate. I am an expert on organized crime and U.S.-Mexico security cooperation. As a scholar of U.S.-Mexico relations,